Hi there guys, Luis from Vintage Action. I hope you guys are all well, and today guys I'm bringing you this cult classic from 1985, a Canon film that has been released for the first time ever on 4K Ultra HD by Kino Lorber in US, and I'm talking you about Runaway Train from 1985, directed by the legendary Andrei Konchalovsky, from an original screenplay by Akira Kurosawa, and obviously starring the legendary Jon Voight, Eric Roberts, Rebecca De Mornay, and John P. Ryan. And let me tell you, this is not your typical Canon movie. This one's released in 1985. To be more precise, December 1985, the same year that Canon released Invasion USA, American Ninja, Missing in Action 2, and many other movies. That was when Canon was at the top of their game. But this is not your typical Canon movie that is known for being low budget, action, martial arts. This movie right here, guys, had 3 Oscar nominations. That's right, Jon Voight was nominated for Best Actor, Eric Roberts was nominated for his supporting role, and they still had a Best Film Editing nomination. They didn't get the Oscars. Obviously, Jon Voight, after he got a Golden Globe for this performance in this movie. So that's why this movie is considered by many, arguably, the best Canon movie of all time. Obviously, that's always relative, but probably you wouldn't expect a Canon film to be nominated for 3 Oscars, and this one did. Obviously, you have to put in consideration everyone that was involved. Andrei Konchalovsky, the legendary Russian director, the cinematographer, it was John Glenn, that worked in all the Bond movies. You had a great actor like Jon Voight. You had a young Eric Roberts, Rebecca De Mornay, and obviously John P. Ryan, that after this one, he ended up doing Avenging Force in 86 with Dudikoff, Dead Wish, 4 in 87 with Charles Bronson, Delta Force 2 with Chuck Norris, and many others. And let me tell you, the performance in this film by all the actors are amazing. That's one of the reasons this one, even when it was released in 85, this one has positive reviews from the critics, but in a way it was a little bit a disappointment when it comes to the box office. But if you stick just specifically to the performance in this movie, especially Jon Voight and Eric Roberts, they were both amazing. Obviously, Jon Voight is an amazing actor. He won an Oscar in the 70s. And then in this one, probably a lot of people said that he should have won this Oscar for this one, even though he didn't. He plays this unlikable character. And let me just tell you that in this movie, he was perfect. I mean, he was amazing playing this character, and what else can you say other than he was literally awesome, amazing, playing the role, the main character in this action thriller. Roberts played a charming idiot in this one. And obviously, in this movie, you have 2 convicts, Jon Voight and Eric Roberts, that escape from a brutal prison in the middle of a cold winter in Alaska, only to find themselves in a out of control a train with a female railway worker played by Rebecca De Mornay, and basically being pursued by the vengeful head of the prison, played by John P. Ryan. So let me tell you, obviously, I'm an action martial arts fan, and Jon Voight is not an action star, and he's not a martial artist, obviously. But his performance in this movie It's amazing, and this movie is an action thriller. And Eric Roberts, I always like Eric Roberts from the no growing up watching the best of the best movies, especially the first and the second one. Eric Roberts was in The Specialist with Stallone. He did so many movies for New Image. So you have like two great actors like as the main leads, and obviously John P. Ryan, he always plays an amazing villain, and in this movie, it's no different. What makes this movie so amazing. And again, this was a movie that was all produced by Canon. It's a Golem Globus production, and they got Andrei Konchalovsky to do the movie. And Andrei Konchalovsky, from day one, he wanted John Voight to play the main lead on this one. And it was tough because initially John Voight didn't want to accept the role to this movie. But eventually, after a while, he ended up accepting the role, and the rest is history. The end result, it was a cult classic that is known worldwide and influenced movies like Speed, like Bullet Train, obviously. And even though it was not that successful worldwide in the box office, and one of the reasons, and here guys, I'm going to tell you all about, there's a lot of like special features on this one, interviews with Eric Roberts, with John Voight, with Konchalovsky, the director. One of the reasons maybe they say the movie was not as successful theatrically, it's because of the Canon reputation. Because, Canon was known for doing like Enter the Ninja, Revenge of the Ninja, Missing in Action, Delta Force, that was actually released that year as well, American Ninja, all those kinds of films. And then when you do a movie like this one with a great director and with great actors, and you have like the two main leads of this movie nominated for an Oscar, and I think they said that was what one of the reasons they might not have won the Oscars, because Canon had the reputation for being a company of like action in a lot of people's like words, sleazy action B movies that we love and grew up watching. Because I love the Missing in Actions, the Delta Forces, obviously the Ninja movies, and later the Bloodsport and the Cyborg and the Avenging Force. But obviously, when you have like, when they say, wait a minute, Canon released a film and the two main guys, John Voight and Eric Roberts, were nominated for the Oscars, and in their words, Eric Roberts, John Voight, Konchalovsky, they all said that one of the reasons that probably they didn't win the Oscar, it was because this was a Canon film. And another thing that did hurt the movie theatrically, that it didn't do so well, this was like $9-10 million budget. It made like roughly $8 million in US in the box office. It's because the way they promoted the movie, because basically they say they promoted the movie like if it was a Chuck Norris movie or if it was a sequel to Death Wish, and there's nothing wrong with those kind of movies, but they were action martial art movies, super low budget, that they were like successful. Obviously they went theatrically, but probably especially Konchalovsky and John Voight, they said they should have gone like into like had like a different approach when it was time to promote this movie, right? I don't think they promoted like correctly the way they should, because if they did, this could have been even bigger at the time, made way more money in the box office, and they might have gotten the Oscars that in the end they didn't. But that doesn't take anything from the movie, because it was beautifully like film shot by Andrei Konchalovsky, that is like a famous like Russian director, and even a longtime friend of John Voight. That's why this great. I love these like interviews that that John Voight was his friend. It was one of the people responsible for getting him the green card to come to US at the time. Konchalovsky, Voight was his friend, and it's and again, you had John Glenn at work in James Bond movies, doing the cinematographer. That's why this movie looks amazing. And literally, this one was filmed in Alaska. Initially, they were supposed to film in Montana, in the US, but they said there was not enough snow, so they moved to Alaska. So when they filmed the movie in Alaska, some of the interior stuff, they said they film in the CBS in Hollywood, but all the external scenes where you see them in the snow, this was literally everything filmed like in on location in Alaska, so made it even like nicer, right? It was not filming like in a green screen or anything, and again, strong performances from John Voight, from Eric Roberts, even Rebecca De Mornay. She's great in the movie. Even though the first time you see Rebecca De Mornay in the movie, it's around the hour mark. So basically, this movie is like 1 hour 50 minutes, so almost 2 hours. And the first time you see Rebecca De Mornay in the movie, it's around the hour mark. So the first hour of the movie, you don't see Rebecca De Mornay. And again, just the opening in the opening scene in the prison, you see like Eric Roberts that plays like he's a boxer inside the prison, and you see Eric Roberts fighting Danny Trejo. That's right, it was like Danny Trejo, like first movie that you know him from, legendary movies, Desperado, and then the Machete movies. He was in so many like B movies in the late 80s, beginning of the 90s, right, like minor roles until he got this big break with Machete, right. But this was his first movie, and he was actually, he was in jail in real life. And when he left jail, this was the first movie they offered to him. And you see the beginning of the movie, Eric Roberts fighting Danny Trejo. And even he says, Eric Roberts, in his own words, it's on this interview here, he said Danny Trejo teach him some boxing, because if you guys don't know, Danny Trejo was a boxing champion inside the prison, right, when he was like in jail in real life. And Eric Roberts said he had a great relationship with him. Trejo, then he asked him, "Oh, do you know any boxing?" And Robert said, "I'm not a boxer. I did some martial arts. I know a few things." But Trejo said, "But you don't know boxing, so I'll eat you alive." And he teach Roberts a few moves, and then they choreographed that boxing like match in the beginning of the movie between Eric Roberts and Danny Trejo. And this one you see Dean Tiny Lister, it was his first role as well. It's a guy that is in many like B action movies like Universal Soldier, Man of War with Dolph Lundgren, Street Corner Justice as well. He had so many like roles in like B action movies, martial art movies. So it was, imagine those two legendary guys, Danny Trejo and Lister. It was their first role in a movie, and it was in this like cult classic Runaway Train. That again, it's a movie that is beautifully like filmed and shot. All those like scenes like on the train, the Runaway Train, are super nice. Again, the director Konchalovsky, it's a great director. The cinematographer, a guy that worked in so many Bond movies. So all of that elevated like this movie, the great actors as well, because this was not supposed to be an amazing to become a cult classic and a movie that had like two guys being nominated for an Oscar. This is like a canon movie, guys, a Golem Globus production, and they got like two guys nominated for an Oscar, and they got 3 nominations in total, and they were able to get a great director and a great cinematographer. But again, even in the words of Konchalovsky, they said that Golem, Globus, the two guys, they were great guys, but they had a problem that because they wanted to be the production company, they wanted to be the ones distributing like the movies, and I think that was like an issue. And they wanted to do like 1 million movies in a year, and they said they should have focused in doing less movies or than just like doing movie after movie after movie, having like a script and already going to the Cannes Film Festival and selling the movie without even starting, filming the movie. That's why you see many, like posters, like advertising with Chuck Norris being the American Ninja. So even before they would start filming a movie, they were already like doing posters and selling the movies internationally without even having the actors confirmed or the directors. That was canon. So that made them be responsible for amazing action martial art movies that we grew up watching and we loved. But at the same time, they had many movies that failed like big in the box office, because sometimes they were not such like concerned with the quality. It was impossible because they were doing so many movies at the same time, trying to sell so many movies, that the problem when you do that is that you get big hits, big successes, but at the same time it's so much stuff to do that you're going to have like movies that are not going to be successful and failed, like it happened then with Superman. It was like not like a huge success in the box office, and they spent a lot of money, like Masters of the Universe, obviously, even Over the Top with Stallone. It was movies that they spent a lot of money paying the actors and the big movies, and they were not, a success financially. And that was kind of the beginning of the end of canon to the end of the 80s. When they did this one in 85, they were still like they're top at their game. But the following years, with Superman and Masters and Universe, they started to go like down and down, losing a lot of money. Of course, they still had like successes like Bloodsport and Cyborg, obviously. But then they had financial issues, and beginning of the 90s, obviously, that MGM came, and Gollum left, Globus continue with canon, but it was not the same anymore. But when it comes to this one, an amazing movie, great performances from Voight and from Eric Roberts, and definitely well-deserved nominations for these two guys, because they were great. I mean, Eric Roberts was like a young actor here, and he had like a great performance. When it comes to these 4K guys, this 4K looks amazing. This one has 4K HDR, Dolby Vision. This one doesn't have Dolby Atmos. You have the 5.1 and you have 2.0 when it comes to the sound. But let me show you here, like, this is nothing fancy when it comes to Kino Lorber. 99% of the times they put the original artwork. I wish sometimes they put something, a new artwork, but if you don't want to do it, that's okay. At least just keep the original artwork and people will be happy. So in the end, just leave it like that and there's nothing wrong. And this is the sleep, as you can see here. So it's a little bit like, it's not that bad actually. I got many, these sleeps from Kino Lorber, they are never like really great, to be honest, as you can see. And this one comes from the US to the UK. So some of the times they come in way worse shape. Actually, this one is okay. I'm not going to even complain about it. So it's all good. This is the sleep. And here you have the artwork. Sometimes they do like a reversible. They do a different artwork, like what they did with The Mechanic with Charles Bronson, because they have the sleep, and then they have the same artwork on the sleep. They had like a reversible sleep, reversible artwork. When it comes to this one, literally there's nothing. It's just the artwork of the original poster, as you can see. And the discs, as you know, there is never artwork in the discs. This is the Blu-ray disc, and the 4K disc is inside the 4K player. As you can see there, this is the main menu to the movie. And when it comes to the special features and all the details, let me just tell you guys, this is obviously the Blu-ray. It's region A, so this is region A locked. So if you guys are in the UK and you don't have a free region 4K player, this Blu-ray won't play because it's region A locked. And all the special features, apart from the audio commentary by Eric Roberts with film historians David Delval and C. Courtney Joyner, only the audio commentary, it's on the 4K disc. All the other special features are on the Blu-ray disc. And let me tell you, this one has like a brand new special feature. And this one, you have like The Moment Is Real 2025 interview with Eric Roberts, is like roughly 18 minutes long. And he talks about like that it was great to work with John Voight, that his work ethic was amazing. He said it was amazing working with John P. Ryan because he was funny, good humor, and such a good actor. So when he talks about working with Rebecca De Mornay, with the actor Konchalovsky, that with the Golem Globus, the two cousins from Cannes, that they offered him like a lot of like roles after this movie. So it's a really nice 18 minutes interview with Eric Roberts that was filmed in 2025. Exclusively to this like 4K release. And then you have from Thespian to Fugitive, John Voight remembers Runaway Train. This is 40-something interview, but this is archival interview. It's an interview that was in the previous Kino Lorber release. It's like an interview that was in the Hero release, so this is not a brand new interview. But to be honest, I've never seen this one before because, like I told you, I didn't have the DVD or the any DVD or Blu-ray prior to this one. So it was nice to have seen this interview with John Voight. Is roughly 45 minutes. And then you have Running on Empty, an interview with director Andrei Konchalovsky that is roughly 17 minutes. And again, it talks about his relationship with Golem Globus, the two cousins, doing a movie for Canon, and then praising the performances from John Voight and Eric Roberts as well, and all that I just told you, that the movie could have been bigger if Canon would have like promoted the movie like more and differently from what they did with Mission in Action or Delta Force, obviously, and that hurt the possibilities of Voight and Roberts to win the Oscar. And then you have The Calm Before the Chaos. Kyle T. Effner reflects on Runaway Train. So basically, this is the guy that P. Ryan grabbed the head and flushed into the toilet in the movie. It's a really great like interview as well, and this is in previous like releases as well. And you have Sweet and Savage 2013 interview with Eric Roberts. This is another archival interview with Roberts, and you have the theatrical trailer. As you can see here, this is all the special features, some that were like archival, but you have a brand new interview with Roberts. And again, this is like 185 widescreen English subtitles. And this, as you can see, you have Dolby Vision. Obviously, you can see the logo from MGM. Obviously, MGM owns most of the library from Canon. That they are the ones who own the movie now, and they license to Kino Lorber. But you have here the legendary Canon like a logo. And this one you have 5.1 and 2.0. There is no Dolby Atmos, but let me tell you, I have like a sound bar and subwoofer, and on 5.1 this sounds just fine. It could have been great if they would have upgraded to the Atmos, but they didn't. But this one does have like a Dolby Vision, and again, this is a brand new HDR Dolby Vision Master from a 4K scan of the 35mm original camera negative. And again, a lot of people sometimes criticize Kino Lorber because they do just a scan from the original 35mm. They don't actually restore like the movies, but let me tell you, this looks amazing on 4K. I have seen this one on Blu-ray. I watched this one before on Prime a few years ago. The HD transfer looked great, but this 4K transfer looks amazing. There is no scratches throughout the movie. The picture quality, it's amazing, and I'm going to show you all about it now. And let me show you the picture quality. Again, this is the main menu. And here you have, as you can see, the audio. You have 2.0 DTS HD Master Audio, 5.1 DTS, and you have the audio commentary with Roberts and the film historians. And let me just play here so you guys can actually see the picture quality. And again, guys, this one looks great. Here, obviously, you see the logo from Kino Lorber. They always put their logo before the movie actually starts. And then the movie is about to start now, and you guys can see the actual picture quality that looks like amazing. And here you see the logo. Again, because this was released this year, you already see the logo of MGM, like Amazon, because if you guys don't know, Amazon bought MGM, so all the library from MGM, it's with Amazon. As you can see here, MGM, an Amazon company, so they are the ones who own basically like the Canon films. And here the legendary logo Canon that you guys love, that gave us so many entertaining films growing up. Let me just fast forward this one here, and so you guys can see the picture quality. And again, guys, this looks like great. Uh, and you can see here Eric Roberts, a young Eric Roberts. Let me just fast forward this. And here John Voight, they're already like when they after they escape the prison and before they just go to the train. And this one looks like amazing. Just as you can see here, all filmed in Alaska, and here they are already inside the Runaway train. And again, as you can see, the picture quality is really good. Let me just fast forward this again. Train scene. And here's like one of the final scenes here. And here the legendary John P. Ryan, when John P. Ryan goes on the chopper and they chase the train, because obviously P. Ryan has like a score to settle with like the character played by John Voight. And let me tell you, this guy here is legendary. I mean, I always love this guy from, like Avenging Force and Dead Wish 4. This is a great actor, a great villain, and is one of the reasons as well that I love this movie so much is because of P. Ryan. And again, then this is like the end already, the end of the movie. And let me go back a bit so I can show you the picture quality. And again, this is 100% worth it, guys. If you are big fans of this movie and you have the ultimate version, this is definitely the ultimate version to the movie. Let me just go back a bit on this one here. If you can see the scene where you see Roberts, this is in the beginning. Let me just like fast forward this one here. Just a little bit more. And here's 17 minutes. There's a scene here that he fights like he fights Danny Trejo in that boxing a boxing match that was a little bit before this one here. This is the beginning. Let me just fast forward this one here. Okay, 6 minutes into the movie. And now you see Danny Trejo there, and here you see like P. Ryan in the movie. And let me just show you here like the scene like outside the prison. And here you can see that's the scene. You see like Eric Roberts on the left there, and on the right you see Danny Trejo, and it's the boxing scene into the movie, both like fighting, and it's a nice scene. As you can see there, Roberts on the right, and you can see Danny Trejo, the legendary Danny Trejo there, both fighting here in the beginning of the movie. And again, guys, the picture quality, it's amazing. So if you guys want to get this one, let me tell you, I 100% recommend. This 4K looks amazing. You have a brand new interview with Eric Roberts that was done exclusively to this release by Kino Lorber. If you guys are in the UK, the best way to you guys to get this one is you go to Amazon US and you guys get this one from Amazon US, because you cannot get it from Kino Lorber. They only ship to US and Canada. So you Amazon US, you can get this one. With the shipping, it will cost you roughly £30. It was roughly what I paid for this one, £29, including like the shipping. But this one was one of my favorites growing up. I had this one on VHS, watched it countless times growing up, so I had to get this one. So yeah, guys, let me know what you think about Runaway Train from 1985, if this one was one of your favorites growing up as well. A movie produced and distributed by the legendary Canon Films. And let me know what you think. Comment down below. Hit that like button. Your opinion is always important to me. I like to interact with you guys. And as always, I'll be with you guys soon, bringing you all the action from the 80s and the 90s. Not only, but mainly from the 80s and the 90s. The action that you guys love and grew up watching. Let me know what you think, and I'll be with you guys soon. As always, bringing you all the action you guys love. Keep strong.